Hello, what's up everybody? How is it going? Welcome to another video of tutorial series Learning Laravel from Scratch. I'm your host Anwar Ali and I'm here today with a new topic, and the topic is loading view along with the data that we fetched from the database using our controller. So what we'll be doing today is we'll be creating our controller, we'll be grabbing the data from the database, and we'll be sending it to the view file. We'll also be using some of the tips of Laravel, where we'll be using our resource controller in order to manage our CRUD operation much efficiently. So before going to the admin panel and starting with the project, I want to show you something that you can see in our home page. We have a link to login and register. So if we keep these links over here, you can see that anybody can register to the system and access our admin panel. So what we want to do is, we don't want to show these links over here. Rather, we would like to create our own link and just remove this link. So this link, this is being shown. So if you go to home layout, home page, home view, first of all let us check our routes. Let me close other files, close other tabs. You can see that the slash means welcome. So let's go to welcome, which is inside resources, views, welcome. Inside our welcome we have two links, login and register. We can just remove these links over here. And let us just say we don't need this. Okay. Now let us try to refresh this. By the way, we'll be changing the layout, everything from here. So let me just save this and refresh this. Now the link is gone. Now furthermore, going to public/login is a bit confusing, so we can create our own generic URL where we'll be using our some generic keyword like /admin or /administrator or /control, where user can easily determine what is our admin panel. So inside our web, what I will do is I'll just copy this home and paste it over here. So home shall be now equivalent to admin, and admin means home controller and index function, and the name shall be home, no problem. I'll just remove another home. Okay, now since /admin is equivalent to home controller's index function, because let me show you something before I do this. Whenever we go to login and type in, let's say, info@kodiary.com and 123456 123456 login, you can see that we have reached to home. But what I want to do is I want to replace this home with admin. So in order to do that, I'm just copying the exact route of home and placing it to admin. First thing, we have done this. Secondly, if you go to auth, you have a login controller over here, and you can see that after I'm logged in, it is redirecting me to /home. So I want to make it /admin. Let us try to check our system now. First of all, let us log out. I have a logout link at the end as we did last time. So now I'm gone. Now if I go to my base URL and type in admin at the end, it will try to take me to the home, and since I'm not logged in, it will take me to the login page. So this is working fine now. So whenever I type admin, it is taking me back to the login. That is making sense now. So if I type in info@kodiary.com and password is 123456 and click on login, it is taking me to /admin now. Now this is quite making sense since we are in admin panel and our URL is /admin, so that is perfect. Secondly, what I want to do before we start our CRUD operation is just modify these links so that our system looks like whatever we want to do, only those things are in the sidebar. So in order to do that, I will open my layouts admin blade and I will go to, so these are our links. I will just remove these different versions of dashboard v1, dashboard v2, dashboard v3, which is over here, dashboard v1, dashboard v2, dashboard v3. So I don't need in these three links anymore, so let me just remove this. And it does not have true or menu options, so let me just remove this, save it and refresh this. You can see now I only have dashboard, but I still have this icon over here which I need to remove so that it doesn't look like a drop down, so which is FA angle left. So I'll just remove this so that our link looks like this. Okay, secondly, we don't need widget, chart, these all items. We just need two menu for now, category and news. Okay, so our first link would be category, so let me just add category, and my second news would be second link would be news. And in category I don't need this icon, and news will not be a drop down, it will not have any tree view, and its submenus, let me just remove this. Okay, finally let me just remove all the links that it has been providing us. So from here to till documentation I don't need anything. Let me just save it and refresh it. So you can see we have dashboard, category and news, and finally we have labels with logout, and we can call it this labels to something different, maybe something like action. Okay, save it, refresh this, refresh this. So we have action, dashboard, category and news. Now since we have prepared our template as we want, we can also remove these if you want, but what I want to start now is whenever we click on category, I want a category listing page and with option to add new category and edit and delete the existing category. So let's begin with that. So let me open my terminal. In your case it could be command prompt. Go to the project, cd/applications/amps/www. In your case it could be like C drive or D drive, amps www/project. Now once we have reached to project, it's now time to create the controller for categories, category and news. So in order to create controller, as we know, we can run a PHP artisan command, PHP artisan, and just like in modal, so we have to type in command make controller and give the name of the controller, which is category. For category, just we need to remember that if our model is singular, our name of the controller should be plural. So categories should be our controller name, categories followed by controller. So categories controller will be our controller's name. If we just hit enter, it will generate a controller for us. Now if you go and check, you can see we have a new controller that is known as categories controller over here, right inside our controllers folder. So let us open this. Now in categories controller, we'll be fetching the categories from the database, or adding new category, or edit a category, or delete a category. So in order to deal with category, we need to extend the model or use the model that categories is associated to. Now in order to use that, we just need to provide a use command. So use, since our category is inside app folder, we need to mention the path this way. So app slash category. So by doing this, now we can use this model, category model, throughout our class. So first thing, I want to create my constructor that will check if I am logged in or not. So, and since this is a CRUD operation which is related to admin panel, I want to first of all verify if a user is logged in. And in order to do that, if you see inside our home controller, which is the page where we are redirected just after login, so here it has been using this piece of code that checks if a user is logged in or not. So it is using middleware auth, and this code, this one line of code, will check if the user is logged in or not. So if you place this inside a constructor, it will, before browsing any of the function, it will first of all call the constructor and check for us if the user is logged in or not. So if we copy the exact same code and place it into our categories controller, so by doing this, we have successfully created a constructor which checks if the user is logged in or not before calling any other function. Now we are ready to call the public index function. So public function index. Okay. Now here, so index shall be a page which will be responsible to call and to grab all the categories from database and list it to our view. So in order to grab all the database, to select each and every categories from the database, what we need to do is we just need to use the same model. Now we can create a variable called categories and say category colon colon find. Instead of find, we can say all. Okay, so category colon colon all means we are trying to select each and every entry from the categories table and returning it back to categories. Okay, now if I want to send these data to the view file, what I need to do is, first of all, we need to load a view. So let us just prepare a view before we send it to the view. So inside our views, I want to make a folder called admin, where we'll be placing each and every of our admin panel's view file. So I have a folder called admin, and inside admin I want to create another folder and call it categories. So all of the view file related to categories shall be inside categories folder, and since this function is index, I would like to create another file called index.blade.php. So this file will be responsible to list out all the categories in our admin panel. So here we'll be loading this file. So now we can say return view. Now we need to give the path of the view in our index function, so which is admin, and instead of saying slash, we can just write dot in Laravel. So admin dot categories dot index. So this is the path of our view file, and if you want to send this data to the view file, we should send this as an array, just like in CodeIgniter. So either we can just say prepare an array like this, ARR, and categories and pass the array over here, or we can just make an array over here. So once we have prepared our array, arr categories equals to category all, which means select all categories and place it into array categories, we can just say with $arr. So what this will do is this will send this array to the view file. Now in our view file index we can use variable, we can use this index categories as a variable in our view file. So now if you go to index blade and type in command php and let's say var dump $categories, save it and try to refresh this, but this will not still work because we have not written the code or the route for the index file. So just let us just write it out. Let me just remove, let us just have it. Now what we can say is, we can just copy this, paste it at the end, and we can say admin slash categories shall be categories controllers index function, and its name will be, let's say, list underscore category. Okay, so we have a name of a route, and the route is referring to categories controller, and we also need to write controller over here. So categories controller index function, and the URL representing this route shall be admin slash categories. So we have the URL, we have the route, and we have the name for the route. So now let us try to browse admin slash categories. So admin slash categories, and it is saying app category not found. I'm not sure if we have already created the view models. Let me check. We only have news model, we don't have categories model. So last time we only prepared a model for, let's say, news, and the migration for the news. Let me just check the migration. We only have migration for news, so let me also create a migration for categories. So each news, the concept here is each news shall belong to a category. For example, category could be entertainment, sports, and politics. These will be the category for the news, and news itself will belong to a specific category. So let us create a migration for category. So php artisan make migration, and my migration would be create categories underscore table. Okay, why don't we just create a migration along with the model? So let me just delete this migration and create another one. php artisan make model and category along with migration, right? So once we do this, model also has been created, migration also has been created, and my migration is categories over here. So I just need a field called table, and it is a string, so title, and I would like to add another field called slug. Let me just explain you about slug. Even inside news, let us just forget about slug right now, but I will explain about slug in coming videos. So we have a table for categories and we have a table for news. So let me now we also have a model for category. Now I think we can start using our controller. It is saying based on we have not migrated the category yet, so php artisan migrate. Okay, now categories table has been created. Now let's try to refresh this. You can see since the item is we have no entries in the database, so the item here is being shown as 0. why don't we just add few items in our database for now manually. So now if you go to what was our database, it was I'm not sure. Let me just go and check my environment variable, and my database is project. Okay, this is our database. Now inside our categories I want to insert some of the data, and let's say sports, and the created ad would be today, and updated ad would also be today. I want to create another one, entertainment, created ad would be today, and updated ad would also be today. Hit go. Now we have two entries in the database. Now if I try to refresh this again, it is showing me those two entries, and you can also see there are lots of other stuffs that is being generated, so you don't have to worry much about it, but you can just be assured that whatever we are trying to fetch from the database, we are getting it. In order to double check it, what we can do is inside our view file, which is index bleed, what we can do instead of var dump, we can say for each dollar categories as $C, let's say echo $C ID. Let's see if it works. So in each loop we should get the ID of the category, so 1 and 2, right? So 1 and 2 is the ID of our categories, so we are getting it, so perfect. But this is not the thing that we want to do inside our view. First thing that we want to do inside our view is to extend the layout, right? So at the rate extends, our layout is $layout dot admin, right? We want to extend the layout of the admin, and we want to create a section over here. So my section content shall be written inside here. So section end section, and here I want to give a heading just like in our default home page. So heading just like this. I'll just inspect to see what it has used. So what it has done is it has used let's say container header, container fluid, all these functions. So what we can do is I can just to make our design look much better, I'll just use the code of the, let's say, home, our basic dashboard. So this was the code that was used for header. Let me just copy this and place it inside my listing page, category listing page, and let us say categories over here. Leave a breadcrumb if you want, but for now I'm just leaving this. Let us just say home/categories. Instead of saying home, we can say dashboard over here, and save it. And our categories, the home page. In order to go to home page, we can just say URL. There is a function in Laravel which is known as URL, and we can give the path of the URL. Since it is blank, we can just write in slash over here, and it will take me to /admin over here, and it will take me to /admin. So our dashboard is /admin, and we are currently at categories. Now let us just see if it is looking good. So if I click on category, admin/categories, it is taking me to, let's say, view layout admin not found. Layout, it's not layout, it's layouts. Okay, so save it, refresh this. Now we can see categories, dashboard, categories, and if you click on dashboard, it is taking me to admin panel. Second thing what I want to do is I also want to add a link to over here, link to here. So if I click on category, it should take me to the categories page, but it's taking me to the wrong link right now. So we'll just quickly modify our layouts, which is over here. So go to categories, which is here, and add a link to it. So our link is no more this. Now what we can do is, if we go to our route page, which is web.php, here, you can see that we have given a name for each and every link. So the name for the list category, listing a category page, which is categories index, is list category, right? So you can just copy this name and place it over here, which is in our category, right? So my category is over here, right? So I'll just place it over here. But now what you can do is you can just call a function called route and pass the link the name of the route over here. So if you see here in our web.php, we have a URL for a route, and route itself, the name of the controller and function, and the name of the route. So whenever we are using the function called route, we can just pass in the name of the route, which is list category, and it will automatically generate the URL that's called admin/categories. So in our view file, while generating the URL for any link, we can just use two ways. The first way is calling a function called URL, and if we are calling the function called URL, we should pass the URL that we created for the route this way, so admin/categories. If you want to use the function URL, you should pass this as the parameter, and if we are using the function called routes, you have to use the link as list category, just like in case of our admin blade. Here we are using a function called route, so I'm just passing the name of the route, and here in index we are using the function called URL, so I'm passing this, right? So even here we could have written route, and name of the route would be home, right? So /admin is represented by home. So even in this case, what we could have done was, instead of writing URL, we can write route and give the name as home. So these are just two basic functions for URL. So route stands for a function that uses the name of the route, and URL stands for the function that uses the URL of that let's say a route. Okay, so currently I'm using just route in both the cases. So let's see if our route works. So now if we go to categories, you can see over here that the link for the category is admin/categories. So let's just click on this, and you can see that my link is taking me to admin/categories. Similarly over here we can see our link is to admin, so whenever I click here it is taking me to admin. So perfect, my URL is working. Now in our category page I have added a heading, a breadcrumb. Now I want to list out my categories which is in my let's say database. So I again want to copy the layout that we have in our home view. So welcome view, not welcome view, home blade. So our content now should be inside section and div and row. So these are something, let us just copy these two, copy this and place it inside my, so this is content header from here to here. Let me just give a tab just to make it align properly. Give a tab, paste it over here, close the div and close the section and align it, give a tab. So now we have a section and a div ready. Now what we can do is we can just create our own table, just like this. Give a class to a table, class equals to table, table dash border. This is just for design purpose, bordered, instead of saying bordered, okay, let's give a bordered, and let's say table dash striped as well. So we have a table ready. So another thing that I want to do is I want to create a tr and give th, some th over here. So copy the th and let's say give this a label called id, give this a label called title, and give this a label called action. So we have three labels. Now After that, what we can do is we can create a loop of those categories that we are sending from the controller. So in order to use loop, we'll be using for each loop, and in blade template we write for each this way. So at the rate for each dollar categories as $C. We can end the for each over here just like this, and for each, and we can say give tr, and inside our tr we shall have three tds, td, td, and td. So in our first td we'll be displaying our id of the categories, which will be php. We don't need php anymore since this is blade template. We can just use double bracket and write $C id. We could also have displayed an auto increasing number over here, but I'm just using id for now. So for title we shall be writing $C title, and for action we'll be creating two different links, one for edit and one for delete. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm just writing anchor href. Let me just place it hash for now and call it edit, and another anchor and call it, give it hash and delete. And we can also give a class btn-info, and for this class btn and btn- let's say danger. We can also create another anchor just above the table and call it add new category. So let me just place it in paragraph tag, give an anchor href equals to hash, give a class btn and btn-primary, and call it add new category. Let us just check to see if our listing looks fine now. So you can see we have add new category button, we have edit button, we have delete button. So this is, our page is just working perfect. So we have successfully passed these data from the controller to the view file, listed it out using blade template, using the same layout, have a link for adding new category, editing a category, and deleting a category. So in next video we'll be learning how to make these button work. And if we click on add new category, it should take us to let's say a form, and that will allow us to make entry for the category. And if we click on edit, it should generate a form with the auto loading the contents of that is in the database, and after we hit save it should update the content, and the delete should now delete the category that we are working with. In another video I will just start another approach. We'll be using resource controller for all these. So right now we are manually writing codes, creating functions for different for controllers. We are creating index function, we will be creating other function, but using resource control will make our work much more easy, and we don't have to bother about routes, and I'll just explain about it in another video. So that was it for today. I hope you liked the video, enjoyed the video, you have understood what I've tried to explain. And if you have any confusions regarding the video, you can mention it down in the comment section. And if you have understood the video, if you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and share the video. And I'll see you guys again with another video in the in coming days. So till then, have a nice time. Goodbye.